Hi, I'm Scott Sandland with Goal-Oriented Hypnotherapy. And what I'd like to do is talk to you about a very simple principle that I've seen create powerful change in my life and dramatic improvement in the quality of life of many of my clients. And to say it in a word, what it comes down to is motivation. Because simply put, humans have two different kinds of motivational strategies. Motivation away from things that we consider to be bad and motivation towards things that we consider to be good. And we use both of these motivational strategies all the time in our decision-making processes. The thing I've noticed, however, is in my office, people are using motivation away from strategies for far more of their decisions than they're using for motivational towards strategies. For example, clients are coming in and saying things like, I'm afraid of the way he would react, so I don't tell him the truth. Or, I hate my job, but I'm afraid of being poor, so I'm staying with a job that's unrewarding. Or, I don't want to be alone, so I'm staying in a relationship that's unsatisfying. All these different things, people settling and making trade-offs based on motivation away from, avoiding the negative potential situation instead of moving towards the greatest conceivable outcome. And so to think of that in an abstract and why that actually matters is if you think of a circle with a dot in the middle of it. And if you were standing next to that dot and that dot was the thing you were trying to get away from, any direction you move away from that dot in the center of the circle would be considered progress. And you could be running haphazardly in all sorts of different directions. Half the directions could be good, half the directions could be bad. And if the only measurement you have for success is distance from that point, you'd never know if you were really improving anything. And so to think of that in a real world situation, if you were to think of me trying to get away from this chair, obviously moving away from the chair is a very simple thing to do. All I need to do is get up and begin to walk around the hall. And I could just walk away from that chair, and the greater the distance, the more success I'm having. And now I could get to a certain distance away from that chair in the hall and just stop and consider this far enough away and never actually gain the progress to a productive end, to a productive location. You know, think of it sort of like the girl in the horror movie. You know, she's looking over her shoulder and running away from the bad guy. She's running away from the scary monster. And in doing so, she keeps running, looking over her shoulder, running and looking over her shoulder until she ends up upstairs in the bedroom trapped with no options. Because if you only use motivation away from strategies, basically what happens is you limit your options. And so what I'd like you to do is think about motivation towards strategies, because that's what the hero in that same horror movie would do. He would look at where he wants to go. He would look at what his goals are. And that's being heroic. And so take a minute and actually think about what's important to you in your life. To think about what you're actually looking for, what your goals are. Because when you start moving towards those goals, it actually feels good. It's rewarding to be that successful. And as you're making that progress, as you're moving towards that good, it's exciting, it's fun. And so think about what it is that you actually want and how you can enjoy the process of succeeding, as well as the success itself. Is it that you want a bigger office? Is it that you want more money? Is there a certain amount of money or a certain type of relationship or an amount of health that you want? Think about what you actually do want instead of what you want to remove or what you want to change. Think about the outcome you're actually looking for. And that way it's fun to gain the process, to go through and get that progressive success, because every step along the way is another incremental success towards that goal. And so what I'd like you to do is to be honest with yourself about that and to just think about how often you're using motivation away from strategies and making trade-offs with yourself to avoid a negative outcome instead of committing to what you actually want, the greatest conceivable potential. And if you have questions about this, please do feel free to email me at scott@gohypnotherapy.com. Or you can visit the message board on the website, which is www.gohypnotherapy.com. That's gohypnotherapy.com. And it's a free message board where you can ask me or a whole bunch of different other people all these questions and get instant feedback from all different viewpoints. You can even search and find out if these questions have already been asked before. So take some time, if this is something you are interested in, and get more information about it. Find out and make an educated decision for you. So again, my name is Scott with gohypnotherapy.com, and thanks for watching this video. Have a great day.